You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael from Arizona, and with me always, my good friend
Shannon G in Mesa AZ.
And we're missing Jay today. He is on the road.
Where's Jay?
I know.
Where's
He
Waldo?
texted me. We were supposed to do this. He texted me. He's like, "Hey man, I'm out." He's actually, believe it or not, we have a mutual friend, and he's going to their. My friend's name is Howard, and he and Howard go back to high school, and so they know each other for quite some time. And Howard's kids graduated college, so he's going over there to go to the graduation, and so that's where he's in the middle of traveling there when we were trying to get ready for the podcast. So we're going to excuse him today, but hopefully he'll have some good stories.
We will give Jay a hall pass.
I know, right? I have a heart attack. I don't get a hall pass. I get one.
You were almost. Yeah, that was.
I know, right?
Story. It's like, okay, because you don't know how bad we felt doing that show. It's like, so Mike's not here because it's kind of his show, and
no,
the reason why we couldn't even go into detail. We didn't have much. We're just like,
it's true.
We're like flying like by the seat of our pants without Mike. So, but
yeah,
we're all still here. We just we kind of rotate. You guys did a show without me after one month. So for some reason I was like, why didn't you just call me?
Right. Actually, I can't remember. Jay and I were talking at some point, and I just clicked it, I think, and we just kept going. I have to say that some of the listeners have reached out to me and congratulated me. I didn't realize, sometimes I'm talking about stuff and I edit it, but it just doesn't seat in my brain quite as well. And I got a bunch of, responses of people like, "Hey, that's great. You're going back to work. Looks like you're doing better." And yes, I am doing better. And thank you very much to our listeners for reaching out, and communicating with me, about, things getting better and my health getting better. So it's quite touching to me that people will reach out and I have my group of people that I know really closely, but it's kind of fun to get listeners to, send a message that says, "Hey, I'm glad you guys are back," or, you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing well.
You got to get back to work just to pay for all this crazy stuff we do.
I know, right? Exactly. Well, if you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We, believe it or not, the platform that we use has now offered us a live stream option and a YouTube upload. So we're trying to utilize those for the YouTube so that our program grows out, at the same time. We used to have to download it, edit it, send it to, our computers, and then
the sensors,
to upload it, and then
MPAA,
all that crazy stuff. And unfortunately, the software that we use is called Riverside FM. And Riverside
is Riverside now. They got rid of the FM.
They got rid of the FM. Riverside, and they allow us to now. They work to deal with YouTube to just upload it straight from our software program. So now, whenever we edit it, we just click a button, and it'll upload at the correct moment in time. And I got a bunch of responses that said, "Hey, we're glad that you're doing this with YouTube, that it's being consistent, because when we were editing it, it took so long to edit videos to get them up on YouTube, and now it's so much faster." So
we get just the audio, and that'd be up there, and then like the video one would be possibly up in a day or two afterwards. Who knew? Sometimes we just didn't get.
Yeah, that's true, because for originally we were bringing all of it out and then editing it, and sometimes it took a long time to match the video to the audio because they were two separate tracks. Where now they all combine each other thanks to the software. So kudos to Riverside. If you run a podcast or you do stuff with your family, it's great. Great way to to get your stuff out there from social media. Check us out on our Instagram page. We do have that. We're trying to upload a little bit more. I tried to upload some stuff the other day and it wasn't working, so I need to get figure some of that stuff out, but I think it
Harley,
has
help
to work.
him.
I know, right? And then check out our Facebook listeners group page as well. So if you're a part of any of that, we really appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe. It helps our
Feedback,
channel grow.
questions, comments.
Yep.
Hey, we like
We'll
it.
love to hear.
Get off the air, whatever it is. Just let us know.
Yeah, no doubt.
Any press is good press, right?
That is true. Which brings me to kind of funny. Many of you guys have seen or heard of my buddy Scott Berryman. He's out in Denver, and he and I talk quite a bit. And he's constantly promoting the podcast for us. And actually, he got us in touch with the guys up there in Denver with the was it 5240, right?
5280.
5280.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the altitude 5280. Okay. And we did hear that those guys are moving along and have decided to move in a different direction, and their RC they made these lights for the
afterburners.
Afterburner lights, and very, very cool. I actually have one or two where I did that fit my airplane, and those guys have decided to move in different directions. So Scott had brought us together, and we did have them on the podcast. I think if you look back in our archives, we had one of the owner on board, and
they were a great supporter of AEF too. I really want to thank them for that,
Yeah.
because they sent us some of their units, and the guys loved them, and we'll definitely miss them. I don't know if
we definitely will. But
I know they were trying to sell it for a while. I don't know if that just didn't pan out, or they just decided
I didn't hear too much
so.
information. I just got the kind of the notification that
Yeah.
they were going to move in a different direction. They've got other plans. But best of luck in their new venture, whatever that might be. I didn't give very many details, but
if it's RC, let us know. We'll
let us know. We'll have you back.
We're here for you.
What else? Let's see. Oh, and the second part is that he and I were talking the other day, and he was out at the field. This is my PSA, and I know that it's a very big deal at our club, and I know it's a big deal at your club too, but a lot of clubs may or may not use it, or if you listen to our podcast and you're, you don't do it yourself, then maybe you should. But the instance is, or the PSA is that when you are flying, whether it be by yourself, in a club, in a setting, at the park, wherever it is, you should really talk to your other pilots and let them know what's going on. And what I mean by that is that I've been to some really big events, jet events. People are flying very expensive turbines. Some of these turbines, can range in the $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 range. And when you're flying one, it's nice if I'm flying an EDF that's worth $300 that I'm aware of what you're doing. Use a spotter. In this particular case, the reason I'm bringing this up is because these were not jets; they were actually gas, airplanes. One was small, one was very large. Neither pilot called the direction of landing, and they landed opposite each other, and had a midair ground collision in the middle of the runway.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
One pilot with the big airplane, got some serious damage, but the little airplane was pretty much destroyed. And unfortunately, everybody kind of saw it happening in slow motion. And the way that Scott describes it, he's like, you see it happening, you're just like, no, and the two airplanes literally nose to nose, both with the props turning. So,
wow.
Both airplanes were, I don't know if the big airplane was totally destroyed. I think it was 33% or so. It may have gotten some, damage, but I think the two did collide at quite a good speed because they were landing, opposite directions. Now, I was like, don't you guys have a pattern for like whatever the wind is? And he said, yes, normally, but when the wind's not blowing, guys kind of fly what they're comfortable with, and at this particular moment,
I usually agree.
Right?
I mean, at least at our field, we go, hey, wind's dead. Which way are we going?
Yeah, and I don't know any other details. I don't know if there was a problem with one and he just was coming in, but the point being that the communication was not quite what it should have been. And from a public service announcement, if you were out at anybody's field, whether it's your own or it's someone else's, just be vocal. Just let everybody know what you're
Yep.
doing, because I hate to see it when airplanes get destroyed. And it's one of those things, who was in the right, who was in the wrong. I did hear that somebody did replace, he volunteered to replace the other airplane. I don't think it was the expensive one that was getting replaced.
Right. Yeah, I doubt it.
And not that, I mean, I would feel guilty if it was my fault, but not everybody's in a situation where they can, hey, let me replace your $20,000 turbine. So
Yeah, exactly. It's just like when you're driving on the road. It's like one guy's driving a 79 Chevette and one guy's driving a Ferrari.
yes,
You can't control who's driving what, but you can control what you're doing. So
that is correct. Yeah. And it's not like we have insurance on these things. So it's not like I could just say, hey, here you go, call my insurance guy, because we had a little bit fender bender.
Yeah. Call Allstate or the Liberty Bib. Can we get Liberty
Liberty
insurance
Bibber,
for RC
yeah.
airplanes? Maybe that's the next commercial. We need to get with them. We'll get
There
them to
you go,
sponsor
for
us,
RC,
and
yeah.
then we'll do RC airplane insurance.
Now, I do know that, I think we've talked about this before in a way back a few years ago, but I have met several members that do have riders for the big expensive airplanes.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely could see that. And
it's off their homeowners policy, I think,
Yeah.
but they and from what I understand, State Farm does it. They offer like a $700 a year, hobby thing or whatever it is, and they put it towards your homeowners policy. So if you did have a very expensive, airplane and something happened to it, you could replace it.
If any of the insurance companies want to sponsor us and promote that, be our guest. Come, let us know. Hit us up.
I get they're probably listening right now, right?
Yeah. Jake from State Farm is going to call us.
He's an RC guy. I think I've seen him.
Flo and her crew. They're going to get on and because there's that recreational vehicle, like they promote, all boats and motorhomes. So why not, $50,000 turbines?
Yeah, I think that's was that Nationwide or Geico or somebody? I think that's true.
Those insurance commercials. I mean, it's like they got 10 different spokespeople for the same company. It's crazy.
It's pretty funny how they do that. But I have matter of fact, I was I had a set of wheels that I could kind of get out and about, and we had picked up our vehicle, and I was going to run over to the field, and it has just been pouring down rain every day here. And I have not had a chance to go out. I mean, I literally, while we're doing this podcast, I've got a break in the rain, but it was coming down so hard earlier this morning that, you could barely hear anything in here. So sounded like you're in a tin box with a bunch of, it hailed the last two big rains. There were little hail pebbles up here. And I know down at my house, I've been getting a lot of, rain down in the Scottsdale area. So weather's crazy. It's monsoon season here in Arizona.
Just a little bit down here in the valley. Got some last night. Kind of midtown, like Tempe, Phoenix area was coming up pretty good. But I had a good rain the other night out here in Mesa, but not enough. We need more rain.
Well, as much as it throws kind of a wrench in my plans, I do enjoy it. So it is nice to have rain here in Arizona, because it has been hot, and the rain does help kind of cool it off.
Yeah, because it's been too hot to go flying. I didn't go last weekend at all. So it's like, I'm not going today. It's too hot. Because it was like 90 degrees by 7 o'clock. You're like,
right.
And some of the guys, you can just go out and hang out. I just didn't feel like it. But this weekend is supposed to be a little cooler. So like at least in the high 70s, low 80s in the morning. So I'll probably go out tomorrow and maybe Sunday.
Well, if it's not raining, maybe I'll slip out to the RC field here and see if I can say hey to all those guys. But we'll have to just check the weather, because, like I said, it's been cloudy the last 3 or 4 days, which is nice because it's been really cool, and we've had the windows open. It's weird, to be in Arizona and have windows and a breeze and all that, cool air coming through here. But it's been nice.
It's not even going to hit 100 here today in Phoenix.
That's crazy.
At least amazing, or barely 100 maybe. But it's supposed to warm up tomorrow for a couple of days. Oh, it's going back up again. Yikes. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. Somebody said it's going to be up into the hundreds and 110 by the end of the week. Well, it is what it is. haven't, it's not something that we're surprised with. We do it all the time, right? We've
Yeah,
been here
it's just
forever.
that it used to be it used to be not for as long.
That's
As
true.
long I'm a native of the valley, and there'd be times where it'd be 100, 110 for a day or two, not like 2-3 weeks in a row,
Yeah.
or every other week for that. It's just like, okay, it's a little much.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. You and I have been discussing an upcoming event that you've been attending for the last year or two, and the
Well, I
Jmeff.
attended it once. I was supposed to go again, just didn't get there. So yeah, it's the John Morgan
That's
Electric Fun Fly, Jmeff as I call it, up at the Remote Possibilities RC Club up in St. George, Utah. We went up there, me and Barrett Hockhouse went up there a couple years ago, and we did an episode
Yep.
from there. And great field. I love that field. I guess like I said, if I, probably my second favorite field in the country, just because of the backdrop and the way it's laid out. They've got AstroTurf. They have a paved runway, and then they have AstroTurf, on the sides,
Right.
and that's something that we've been talking about even at our club. Trying to
Mhm.
kind of pad the edges of the runway with something, but we just got to find somebody tearing up a football field. I mean, was there tearing up a football field that they want to get rid of the turf?
Right.
Right here, we're
There's a call.
we'll take it. We'll bring trailers and trucks and bring it all in.
Yeah.
But no, so it's the official dates are September 25th and 26th, which is a Friday, Saturday. But most of the people that come to attend that event, they come from out of town. They start showing up as early as Wednesday.
Wow.
So Wednesday, Thursday. I think last year, when I went, we left on Wednesday. I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We came home on Sunday. But it's a lot of guys that come from out of town. There's locals a lot, but a lot of the local club members kind of go home for that event. I don't know why.
Sure.
But John Morgan, he was actually he was a good friend of AEF, big electric guy, and he passed away a couple years ago, and so they've been having this event in his honor ever since then. So Scott Ramirez, who actually lives in the LA area, is the CD for the event, and he's been running it for the last couple of years. Great guy. Scott's been into AEF and consider him a good friend. Whenever we see Scott, we catch up and have a good time. And he's an amazing modeler, good pilot, just a great guy. So it's just the fact that he carries the torch for this event is really cool. He really does a good job with that. But one of the cool things with this event is it's really, it's electric and open to any electric airplane whatsoever. But the guys that come out are the guys that like to build the, scratch build, scale, something different. So right up Barrett's alley, right up the Hex, Brent and Bentley, those guys, Bentley. His dad Roger. Justin Link, I think it is, and Justin Lamb, both those guys that are also been part of AEF and other events. A lot of the other guys from California, Utah, Colorado, they all come in. A bunch of guys from Arizona, show up down there. I think John Gerhard usually comes up, I think. I think he's a big supporter of it. So, but it's just such a fun event, and you see really cool planes. There was a bunch of guys from Texas the last time that came in, and they had some really amazing airplanes, and some, and sometimes it's successful. Where they'll bring a plane out, and it's like even though you're not supposed to made in a plane at an event, they kind of do it there. It's almost kind of like a tradition there.
Right.
They'll do it before the official event or after, kind of thing, and then get it going. There were some awesome scale helicopters that I was begging those guys to come to AEF. I'm like, more, I'd love having helicopters at AEF. We just don't have enough.
Right.
I know we kind of gotta adjust, the schedule, but I'm all for it. I've always been, we had actually had a good helicopter turnout the last 2 years, which has been good. So I like to see that. But yeah, so I'm excited. We're talking about going. You're kind of in the neighborhood, at least.
That is correct. I am
around that time.
I'm fairly close. So
I'm trying to work my schedule, and maybe a couple of the guys from down here we might pop up, because it's not that bad of a drive for us. It's it's 5.5, 6 hours. It's a little, you got to go up to Vegas and hang a right. So,
that's true.
And but it's some really cool. The scenery is just it's so nice. The weather's usually really nice, and the cool thing this year, in past years, you couldn't actually stay on site if you had an RV, because it's part of the. It's the city or the county, I forget which, but it's part of the water treatment plant area, so it's like
Okay.
secured. Like they have like they have a keypad, the electric gate opens and everything, and but I think they got permission this year. Hey, come on, these guys are, they're in the hobby. They're not. There's no vandalism, no sabotage, like
Right.
that. We're for reasons. So they're allowing RVs this year.
Oh, nice.
For a few. So I think I give you the info to contact on that. So that's kind of cool because I guess you have already had to leave and come back or whatever. But
Yeah.
sure that's not much of a factor. But yeah, just really hoping to get up there for it, and it's one of those places where definitely would like to, if this wasn't my long-term lifelong club down here, probably be something up there would definitely be a close second because it's cool. And weather's similar. It's a little cooler. I know in the winter you get a lot cooler than here, but which is fine. But it's a smaller town. St. George. It's a vacation town. Would you say? Kind of, yeah. It's like because you got Moab's not too far away and all that good stuff's up there. So there's a lot to do, but definitely a fun event. So any of our listeners, if you're looking for something to do at the end of September, that's a great, again, it's a 2-day event, but you can stretch it into a 4-day event, and you can go back on Sunday and fly if you want. They don't care. Everyone's pretty cool there. It's just a really laid back club, but nice facility, really nice facility. So really looking forward to hopefully getting up there again this year and keep going the years after, because it's just fun.
We have a family event just prior to that we're going to be at over in Grand Junction, Colorado, and we're meeting family, and then the event, when it's done, we actually are coming back, and I had spoke to the wife and said, hey, do you mind if we swing by this event? So as far as I know now, as long as I can get there and the event doesn't go over, we don't have family issues or anything, then on our way home we'll be able to go. But it is definitely on my calendar, and barring anything major happening, with the rig or having to come home for some reason, and skip it. But so we're trying to get everything situated where we can be there. So we're kind of excited about it because it is a beautiful field. I've only seen photos of it, but my wife does like St. George, and she does have people that she knows there. So at least maybe I can get her to go do the
good old staple of Utah culinary arts, Chuckarama.
Yes,
buffet.
Chuckarama buffet.
We always go there. I think usually on Saturday after the event, everyone Friday or Saturday after the event, everyone goes there for kind of a big, not official event, but it's big. Everybody shows up. It's a good time.
Right.
To talk about.
I think they have one of those in Henderson as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think they've expanded. Yeah, because I know it's a Utah primarily, but I think they expanded over to.
Well, my brother used to live in Henderson, and I think we went at one point. We had gone to visit, and he took us out to Chuckarama. Yeah. And I know that we've been there. Her grandparents used to live out in Orem, and so I think we went to a Chuckarama with them as well.
Yeah, that's good. It's good buffet.
Yeah. Well, other than that, that's kind of the closest event for this month or next month, I guess. Yeah. After that, at my club is Somebody Flyers at the end of the October. We've got Sun Valley Jets, and that's on October 22nd through the 24th. And they got, Tony Quist puts that on every year, and he's got it's an AMA sanctioned event. It's a really, really fun event. Everybody's got their, jets out, and it's just a great place to kind of see a bunch of really cool stuff. And, they usually get some sponsors and everything out there, and they have a really good time. So it's been one of those, I think it's a fairly new event because it used to be, different Winter Warbirds, and then they are not a Winter Warbirds, but it used to be a, wasn't Tony wanted to do it, and so he eventually got rid of what Winter Warbirds has somebody else doing that one, and he just does the jet event.
Yeah, it was kind of created because of the vacuum left from Best in the West, right?
At the time, Best in the West got canceled, and so they just kind of pulled everybody over because we're like a lot of us were from here. I go to Best in the West. And a lot of the California guys are like, yeah, we'll come over to Sun Valley. So, but they do a really good job. They get a, waiver for altitude, and they get a lot of guys will come out with the, the covered area, and everybody kind of shares tables and stuff. It's really kind of a great event.
Yeah.
I've been, since he started it. So we appreciate Tony and all the effort that he does putting that event together. So we'll talk more about it as it gets a little closer, but I definitely, got the
talking about jets. So, we've got in November, we've got the Arizona Jet Rally, long standing. I think it's 37th annual this year. Is that?
That's crazy.
But reminder that it's moved up a week. So for the longest time, we've had it the weekend right before Thanksgiving's week, and we got some feedback from a number of potential long-term sponsors, potential sponsors, and things like that. Hey, can you guys move it like 1 week ahead, and that way it gives us a little more cushion for some of the other stuff we're doing. So we moved it up. So James Lash moved it. So November 14th is when that one starts this year, and so it's a week earlier than normal. Just gonna get that word out there that we're trying to get the word out that it's moved up, and again it's definitely a change, and it messes with our with all of our events. That way we got our auction the weekend before, and we got to get a club meeting in there somewhere because it's our election meeting. So we're trying to figure out where the heck we're going to put that. So yeah, it's a little cray to see how we're gonna make that work. So
all these events at once.
Oh yeah, well it's just it's just because we have such a when you start pushing stuff in the fall, you've got all the events. You got Thanksgiving and Christmas and Halloween and just other events going on. You don't want to bump into too much.
And that's the first time the weather breaks in Arizona anyway, so everybody wants to have their stuff right away.
Everyone says, well, we have all these events, early in the fall or, early spring. It's like, well, it's too hot here. It just really is. Other places in the country, that's prime time for events.
Sure.
We just can't support it, and no one's going to come. So we just basically, shut it down. But we just don't, we just don't schedule anything. It's no one's going to show up anyway. So.
It's funny. My parents used to live here, and it's south of Phoenix actually when we were here, and my dad's like, wow, golfing is the greatest time during the summer because nobody wants to golf during the summer.
Yeah.
So it's cheap and you're the only one on the field. And I was like, yeah, but if you have a heart attack or something, you're just going to lay out there because nobody's going to be out there to get you.
No one can hear you scream on an empty golf course.
Well, same holds true for the field, right? Because I love to go out early in the morning in the summertime. There's hardly anybody there. Yeah. That was my favorite time at the Gilbert Quiet Flyers when I used to go out there and it'd just be, 5:00 in the morning and the sun's up, but and it's bearable because the sun's not beating down on you, but it's just fun because you're the only one there and you get the whole sky and fly whatever you want and as long as you want. It's kind of fun. So not everybody has that opportunity, but Well, we are getting short on time, and hopefully we'll have Jay back with us on the next episode. He gets back into town. But remember that, if you're flying out at anybody's field or at your own field, just make sure you make your calls, communicate.
Call your intentions.
Yeah, I always hate to hear. I mean, it's bad enough that we crash airplanes. We know that they're coming. It's not a matter of when, but if. I mean, not if
when.
Right? And,
Trust me, I know.
It's going to happen. Exactly. But I don't ever want anybody to, be in the bad situation that it was, some fault because they didn't follow the rules or they didn't communicate as well. And we're pretty good about it, here on the podcast. I've got a couple of guys that have reached out to me for some instruction and help at our field, and we're going to get together with them at the end of the month. But it's always one of those things that safety's first. I'm safety minded.
Yep.
Jay's safety minded, so it's always always a good procedure to.
It's
basically kind of
safety number one.
Broadcast your intentions.
Yeah, exactly. Loudly.
So. Well, if you're coming up to Jmeff, make sure you look us up. We are, unless something changes, we'll let you know. But for the moment, we are trying to attend. And then yeah, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, join our Facebook group, all that kind of good stuff helps our channel grow. We do appreciate all your feedback. For the comments on YouTube, all the way to the emails, text messages, everything that I get. I really do appreciate all the support.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Other than that, I'm Michael from here in Arizona.
And Shannon G. in Mesa AZ.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Let's fly. Sorry, Jay. Had to do it.
I had to throw that in there.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.